Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.
The world's just changed so radically, and we're all running to catch up. How can we possibly have the slightest idea what to expect? The best intentions. Some of the worst things imaginable have been done with the best intentions.
Dr. Malcolm, here to share a few campfire stories with my uncle.
You can convince the Washington Post and the Skeptical Inquirer of whatever you want. But I was there, I know what happened, and so do you.
I don't think you're giving us our due credit. Our scientists have done things which nobody's ever done before.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could that they didn't stop to think if they should.
Hello, welcome to episode 43 of Jurassic Minutes, the February issue. A little bit late for Feb, but we're here anyway, where we're going to discuss some recent movie, toy and franchise news for the Jurassic series. I'm Brad.
And Dave.
And the 30th anniversary Jurassic Park items are hitting stores. There's a heap here to talk about, as well as Hammond Collection has shifted into top gear this month with all the new figures there we're going to discuss. And there's a new Jurassic prop seller in the market that we're going to have a look at as well. But stay tuned to all of that and more coming up. But first, David, it's time for our purchases, recent toy or prop purchases. You talked a couple of episodes ago about picking up the Raptor CT scan, and now you've got it in hand.
Yes, I got a second one. It's the back view. You can actually, like I said, I think when I first mentioned it, it's the one that's, I think, in the center below the main image. That you can see that's been, it's been sliced up and digitally sliced up. This is the whole image, and so it's got way more detailing than what we see in the actual final film because that image has been shrunk down so much. And it's honestly like a lot bigger than I was expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be like the slice scan that I have in about 14 by 18 or whatever that is. This is closer to 24 by like 30.
Wow. So it's a big scan.
Yeah, it's very big. I had to go out and buy like a much bigger poster than I thought I was going to have to. Or poster frame. But yeah. Nice.
That'll go good on the wall.
Oh yeah, it's definitely hanging up on the wall already.
Very good.
And then I also got the Lost World Cinemag. This is one I've kind of been on the fence about for a long time. I've been watching the seller have it up there for probably almost for a couple of years now, actually. The seller had posted it for like $180. It was honestly a little ridiculous how expensive this was. And finally he put it down to, I think, $150, and then I watched it, and he sent me an offer of $140, and I was able to finally talk him down to like a little more than $100 after shipping.
Oh, nice.
And so this one is really cool because the magazine is a Thailand regional exclusive. So the entire magazine, all the interviews and everything is in Thai. I can't read a word of it. But it's rare. I've never seen another one. I've never seen any of... I've been keeping an eye on this specific magazine for years, looking into hoping that maybe one would pop up cheaper than the one the seller was offering. And it's got a handful of exclusive behind-the-scene photos from the Roland scene, the deleted Roland scene, I mean, the one from Mombasa. And these are all up on behind the gates, so you can all find them there. And then they've got a couple new high-def scans that are available of Spielberg next to the Stegosaurus animatronic, and I think one other one.
Do you have the magazine handy? Is there?
I do, yeah.
Does it have the retail price on the top or on the back with the barcode? How much it actually? It does,
but again, it's in Thai.
Oh,
so
yeah, okay.
I don't know how to read those little squiggles, unfortunately.
Definitely not 150 anyway.
No, probably not, especially 97. Oh, and it's got a nice high definition picture that we've not had before of Spielberg and crew on the set of the Hunters camp scene.
Nice.
And so it's kind of like this hidden little gem. It's really neat that it has so many pictures I've not seen anywhere else. These were all market exclusive. And even the ads are like really 90s level, and it's kind of fun. I've considered scanning even some of the ads just for the kitsch of it.
Well, that there goes to marketing back there. We've talked before about the Kodak maps and everything else as well. So, Oh, very nice. So your magazine collection is still growing.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's, as we've said before on the show, it's wild how much ends up market exclusive in this franchise, that we have magazines and then photos in those magazines that cannot be found anywhere else except for these rare, obscure, far East Asian marketplace magazines.
Yeah, and that's you may think, well, why $150 for a magazine? But when you're getting these exclusive photos and have yes, okay, the photos may exist. We have copies of them from elsewhere, but they're not high definition. They're mostly, or for a lot part, pretty bad quality. And being able to get these photos and get them scanned is well worth the money.
Definitely.
How, with all your magazines, do you just have them in a filing cabinet, or do you have any displayed, or?
I keep them in the protective wrap, and then I just keep them shelved, like I do on my other books.
Oh yeah, yep, of course, bookshelf, yep. That's all right. And at least that way they're readily accessible too, and handy. You can grab one if you need to. Yep. Ah, very good. My custom Hammond Collection male bull T-Rex have finally arrived. I got mentioned at Christmas time I was getting a customizer in the States to do up the bull T-Rex paint job on the Hammond Collection version. Unfortunately, after it was shipped, it went missing, and it's been in limbo for about a month, postage-wise. And at one point I didn't think I was going to get it at all, but then one day it just magically appeared on my doorstep, and tracking didn't even mention it, so it's finally in hand, and it's a thing of beauty. I'll get some photos up. I don't really want to take it out of the box. It's just the extra work. It's not just paint. He's done some other stuff as too, sharpened the toenails and painted them, added the gullet to the bottom of the neck, the scars on the nose, just everything that identifies that Tyrannosaur as being the male, the buck from the Lost World. Like you're saying, Terry ordered one as well. He's got one. There's a couple of them getting around there. There's just a fantastic figure, and thanks to Tyrannosaur Tyrannus for doing the customization on it. So.
Yeah, I've got. It's not this exact one. I don't think it's this. Well, it might be. I think it might have been. Yeah. Or the seller, trying to think of the word. It was one of his earlier versions. Is what it was, and the great thing about this is it's just so beautiful. I've got one myself. There's so much care and love put into this thing.
Yeah, and unfortunately with the conversion rate and everything else, it's pretty much cost me the same amount as a small Prime 1 Studio statue, so which is why I was a little bit upset that it hadn't arrived or wasn't going to turn up. But yeah, I need to work out how I'm going to display it again. It displays beautifully in the box, in that Hammond Collection box, but I got to get it out. I got to get it out next to the female, and yeah, might have to get another figure that's coming up later in the news as well to go with them, and have that family united.
Like you said, it's a beautiful figure, and I'm really glad you got it.
I just really want an M-Class or an RV to put them on either side of now. Unfortunately, the snap-together model's a bit too small for those two figures, I think, but we'll see. We'll see. But that's it. I haven't been collecting any of the mainline stuff. I've seen some in stores. We're going to get to it later with a lot of the new Hammond Collection stuff, where I just feel a lot of the mainline stuff's just same old repaints, and nothing there really interesting me. There's even been a couple of occurrences I've gone to stores and seen some of the Dominion figures on clearance and that, and I just don't. That movie upset me too much. I don't know if I'm even going to collect any of the figures from it. So, yeah. But Dave, how about we get into some news?
All right, sounds good.
Meet the future of paleontology. It's a rapid prototyper. I enter in the scan data from the Raptor skull. The computer breaks it down to thousands of slices, and this thing sculpts it, one layer at a time. It's done.
We have a new prop distributor, prop making company on the market. Just going over some of the other stuff they've got. Obviously, they're not brand new, but they have just started doing the Jurassic license. And that's Paragon FX Group. Seen them post some stuff about their Jurassic stuff. I hadn't really heard about them beforehand. Adam Savage on Tested on YouTube recently just done a video on their
really?
89 their 89 Batman grapple gun set, which the detail in that thing, even though it's $700, the detail in that grapple gun set, the bolo ends and all the different pieces for it, it looked fantastic. And now they've got some Jurassic stuff to add to the list as well. Obviously, if someone's going to do props, they're going to do the brochure maps, and that seems to be the standard. We got a clean version and a dirty version listed here for $25, which isn't too bad really. Of course, they're doing Hammond's cane, and they're doing the Barbasol can as well. $350 for the cane and $400 for the can. I've seen some people commenting on their Facebook group and that $400 for a cryo can's a bit much. You can get third-party ones made for less than that, but it's a licensed product. They're making them in bulk, so the quality should be there with these as well as the third-party ones. But I was wondering if a set of goggles were going to appear on their list of stuff as well, because I've been told by someone in the know apparently all the Chronicle stuff was sitting in a warehouse because they couldn't afford to get it out of that warehouse. So I've just been waiting for that stuff to come on the market, and it sort of hasn't. So don't know what's happening there, but it'd be interesting to see what Paragon Effects decide to do in the future for Jurassic. Hopefully they look at the other films, not just Jurassic Park.
Agreed, yeah.
But in saying that, I suppose looking to our favourite film, sort of props from that, really, the Marksman GPS. I don't really know what other sort of handheld one-to-one props from the Lost World.
There's not a lot. I mean, besides the Marksman GPS, not a lot.
Yeah.
Trying to think.
It's sort of it'd go more the other way to costuming. Oh, I suppose the shock prod.
Yeah, the custom shock prod.
Yeah. I'd love a replica Nitro Express.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But I suppose if they're going to do that, they'd do the Spaz 12 for Jurassic Park as well for Muldoon. But yeah, looking forward. I'm not really interested in the cane or the Barbasol can they've got here. I've already got one of the Barbasol cans, so I know there are cheaper Hammond canes on eBay and that. Even some of the old Chronicle ones that are floating around, they're about $200. But
yeah, that's kind of the problem with every company trying to make the same props, is that eventually the market just becomes saturated with them, and so you're kind of stuck with just like what's the paradox of choice, because whereas this one might be higher quality, it's $400, but this one might be more accurate, but it's made more cheaply, but this one,
And we've talked before of the canes too, the prop side of things, where you get that cane hanging on the wall and you do not touch it, compared to the other canes where people want to use it as a cane, use it for Halloween, whatever else, and I either destroy it or break it because it's just not made for that. And you know, especially if toy prices now are going up because production materials and that, all that sort of pricing, manufacturing's gone up. So Hammond's cane, for instance, here being $340 on their site. Chronicle may have been able to make that for $250-$100 less 8 years ago. Whether the quality is the same or not, just it's going to fluctuate
the
price.
Thing is, like you said, people using them like it's a real cane. The original prop, Richard Attenborough was an actor. He was acting with when he's interacting with that prop, he's not really having to lean on that prop. He's just pretending to lean on the prop. You know, the prop's not actually probably made to hold his weight, but he has to make it look like it is. That's the whole point of acting.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you get stuff like the two of the brochure maps that are just just printed. Even the Barbasol can too. You sort of at the end of the day, it sort of doesn't really matter who makes it. It's pretty much identical. Nothing's going to change. The Barbasol can, I'd love if it was sort of more time accurate without the website on the back and all that sort of thing. But if they're using real cans and cutting the bottoms out, they're going to be updated cans, so they're not going to really fit in there anyway.
Well, that's the other thing is that, like you said, it gets to a point where you're dealing in millimeters. You know, it doesn't really matter which one you buy because visually on the shelf, nobody's really going to be able to tell.
No.
Oh, you guys.
It's cool and compartmentalized inside.
You guys, oh, that's great.
Customs can even check it if they want to.
Hey, let me see.
Go on. There's enough coolant inside for 36 hours.
No menthol?
The embryos have to be back here in San Jose by then.
But that's up to your guy on the boat. 7 o'clock tomorrow night on the East Dock. Make sure he gets it right.
So, it's the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park. The Hammond Collection's been going for a couple of years, and of course now we got the reveal of the character John Hammond himself for the Hammond Collection. We're just talking about props and same old. I believe this is now the third version of John Hammond that's been released. We've had the Amber Collection, we had the one of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, which was the Legacy size, I think.
Yeah, there was the Legacy one. Then there was another one that was released, I think, with Mattel Creations that came with a with the
incubator.
The incubator. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Trying to think of the word.
Yeah.
And then like you said, this is the third version now that has the added articulation of Hammond Collection.
And
actually, I think it might be the fourth. I think Amber Collection.
I've got an Amber Collection Hammond in the.
One.
Yeah, I've got an Amber Collection Hammond.
Yeah.
And
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, and now here we go.
But this one comes with ice cream.
Well, yeah. The problem when you start doing redos of characters, why? Okay, he's going to have the cane, so he's got that accessory. Having that version come with the incubator and the baby raptor, it sort of makes sense. We have him in that key scene. I'd have to go and have a look. I'm pretty sure the Amber Collection would only come with the different hands and the cane as well.
Yeah, I think that's all it came with too.
Yeah, so you're limited, especially with Hammond, what sort of accessories. He's going to have his hat, of course. Glasses I don't think are removable because they're on both heads. The watch on the hand. But this looks fantastic for Hammond Collection figure, for the man himself. The ice cream, yeah, we sort of discussed that when we had poo glove hand Sattler sort of.
Hey,
okay.
It was all melting.
Yeah, it's all melting. Well, now we know what it wasn't poo on those hands; it was brown ice cream. But so I wasn't able to get some of those other exclusive Hammonds, but it's good to see this Hammond Collection. We are getting some of the figures here, so I'll be definitely looking to pick this one up. Are you going to pick up Mr. Hammond?
I already have the one that was the Comic-Con exclusive. That one I kept in packaging, just because I really like the packaging. That was kind of the whole point of me. I don't usually buy Comic-Con exclusive figures, nor do I usually buy or keep my figures in the packaging. But that one I did only because, one, I think I paid like $75 for it, and two, I really like the packaging.
Yep. Moving on from Hammond, the second human figure that's been revealed, human character, is Dennis Nedry, complete with stick stupid. Of course, the Barbasol can. I'm pretty sure all the Nedrys that have come out have included the Barbasol can in one form or another. Even that one Comic-Con one that come in a Barbasol can. So
interestingly, this one, the Barbasol can actually opens up.
Now, of course, being a small figure, it's just a basic sort of a silver plug that comes out of the bottom of the can, but it is a great little detail.
It is.
Swappable heads, one with the glasses, of course, and the ones with the glasses missing, and the Dilophosaur spit.
Sure, that's what you want to call it.
Yeah, maybe.
Something else that sounds like that. They still haven't quite gotten the colors on the Venom right, I think. It should be like a tarry black, and it always comes out coming like poop.
It looks like he's got a beard. It's too uniform across the bottom of his chin, like it's completely across the bottom of the chin and up the side of his sort of cheek muscles, yeah. It's now I don't have. There wasn't an Amber Collection Nedry, and I never got any of the other previous ones, so this would be my first Nedry. He's not really as fat, dare I say, as Wayne Knight in the film, but the yellow coat's fine. The blue shirt, I don't know if he had a blue shirt on.
It was textured. I think it was like a kind of like an octagonal texturing or pinstriping.
Yeah.
Or maybe he had the dots. I remember it was texture of some sort.
Oh, no, of course. I got the Legacy Nedry with the Jeep, the 2-pack that come out with that, and Dilophosaur had a Nedry with it. This is definitely a better face sculpt than that thing. But
that's right. It had yellowish cubes on the shirt. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Maybe they kept that off it just so it wouldn't have too much yellow with the raincoat and everything else.
Yeah.
But,
it might have been difficult to get that paint app right too.
Yeah.
So they just decided to mix it all together.
Yep. But no, I'm liking this again for the $20 or whatever that the Hammond Collection stuff is. I'll definitely be picking up Dennis and probably putting him with his Jeep instead of the other one we got. What about you?
I think I have. Yeah, I already have the Dennis Nedry from the Jeep pack, so I'm going to skip on this one too.
Yep. All right.
The accessories don't justify it enough for me.
No, especially when you can go out in the garden and just get a stick.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on, we've also had the reveal of the Hammond Collection Juvenile or Baby T-Rex from the Lost World as well. Again, I did not get the Amber Collection one. I was not a fan of the paint, the colours, the head, all the proportions seemed a bit different, but this is looking a hell of a lot better, minus a couple of little moulding issues, I'll say, of just the way the main body drops down for the tail and that sort of thing. But
yeah, there seems to be a constant though with the Hammond Collection figures and the in general, because the Coryhosaurus we're going to talk about later kind of has the same issues with the tail area and the neck having those kind of weird drops. I think it's just because they're going for a good mixture of articulation and sculpt. Honestly, this one I'm blown away by. I've mentioned a couple times through the PD Twitter that I'm highly impressed with this, and I'm really looking forward to a male Hammond Collection T-Rex at this point, just because based on those figures' colors, they have knocked it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
The paint, I mean, everything I'm looking at is a huge improvement over the Amber Collection version. The paint looks great. It's nice and detailed. The little pink around the eyes is right off the animatronic. Those big doe eyes in the head. The sculpt is perfect. There's one picture here where it's kind of looking at the baby with the mouth open, kind of like it's roaring.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminds me so much of the shot from The Lost World towards the end of the movie when Ludlow goes to grab the baby out of the cargo hold and it kind of growls at him.
Yeah, it does.
I can practically hear the sound effects in my head looking at it. And like you said, the arms are well proportioned. The arms aren't too big like they were on the on the Amber Collection figure.
It doesn't have the big clown feet either. They're sort of more... They're smaller, and even though they're smaller, it still seems to be able to stand pretty well.
Yes, I noticed that as well. It doesn't have the clown feet like the Raptors do.
Yeah.
And I also like that it comes with the belt and the cast.
Well, again, accessories for the Baby Rex, unless you're going to throw the male and the female in with it, they're really the only accessories you can do. I think the Amber Collection one had the same issue where you sort of... It's a belt, so it shouldn't be as big and bulky, but you can't really make it any smaller because you're going to have a choking hazard or whatever else.
Or, it'll just be too fragile.
Yeah, so...
Chewed gum and spit is sold separately.
Your gum, ew. Here, we're going to talk to it when we get to the Baby Stegosaur in a minute, but I'm hoping this... You say you hope this signifies that the male's coming. I hope this signifies that Nick Van Owen's coming to carry it. Or even a Ludlow to stand on it.
Oh, he got his belt, so...
We got some of him. It's definitely a buy for me.
Yeah, this one's definitely... I can't wait for this to come up as pre-order.
Yep. Next, we're staying with the Lost World here, and we've got the Hammond Collection Baby Stegosaur. Again, a lot different sculpt design than what we had previously with the Harding and Adult Stegosaur free pack. I think was where we seen the other one, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit better colour here, sort of more darker colours again, more articulation, a bit stubbier tail.
I'm loving this one in every way. It's adorable. I mean, look at this one picture where it's a close-up of the face, and it just got that big grin on there. Look how cute!
I love its little nubby spikes on its tail too.
Yeah. I actually like it a lot more than the one that we had gotten with the Legacy figure. The paint is nice, and it has like a nice fade onto the belly, and it doesn't seem like it's kind of just haphazardly slapped on there in a pattern. It's definitely a higher quality figure. Yeah. I will say I have one nitpick, and it's very, very minor, is that the cheeks should have been the outside should have been the same color as the rest of the body and all that, because it's supposed to have cheeks, not just that mouth joint there.
Yeah, yep.
But like I said, the smile is adorable, so I'm not going to complain too much.
I've seen people posting photos of this and the one from the Land Before Time too.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah. As I was saying with the Baby T-Rex, I hope this means we're going to get a Hammond Collection. I said Julianne Moore, Sarah Harding.
Well, that's just that. I'm hoping we get the adult Stegosaurus too, and it's this high quality, because the one that we got with Legacy was just I think it was a badly repainted version of just the Jurassic World Stegosaurus.
Mm. Yeah, well, fingers crossed that's around the corner as well. Here we are saying that we don't want to keep on seeing redos of the same things, but we need an update to that Stegosaur mould.
Yeah.
Staying on the herbivores here, the Coryhosaurus Hammond Collection, another good looking figure, as you were saying earlier, sort of still suffers from some of that joint issue with the articulation. I know, as you said, they are trying to go more articulated with the animals, just so you don't have them in that solid looking one way or solid pose. But at the end of the day, would you prefer a solid pose so you have more of a streamlined sort of animal detail, or would you prefer not issues, but sort of this sort of joint trouble where you've got to have articulation points?
I think that the Hammond Collection strikes a good balance between the detail and the playability of them, especially with the bigger theropods that we've gotten.
But this thing looks fantastic anyway. The paint job, just that burnt orange on top, and the detail there. Again, painted toenails or toe claws on it as well. It doesn't look like the finger claws are painted, but that's something quick and easy to do.
It does and it doesn't. It looks like they're painted a slightly kind of brownish color compared to the fingers.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, nice red crest on the top of the head as well.
Mm-hmm. The colors are strikingly vibrant on this figure. It's really nice to see. I know that a lot of fans are really excited because this is actually, I think, the first Coryhosaurus figure we've ever gotten. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to pass on this one just because it has the same issues that the Parasaurolophus had with the stubby tail.
Yeah. They've also released photos of the Metriacanthosaurus, big theropod as well, for the Hammond Collection line. Some nice paint detail in it. I'm not really a fan of that sort of salmon. What is that? Sort of that pinky colour on the brown, on the dark colour. Being a figure, being an animal, not from the franchise as well, on screen anyway.
Honestly, this one I might go for just because I like it. The one that we had gotten before was kind of an abomination. It was like severely retrosaur, and this one is much more beautiful. It almost looks like something out of Walking with Dinosaurs. It's a really, really nice figure.
Mm. Again, they've got both the hand claws and the toe claws painted. Nice bit of vibrant red there on the snout and around the bottom of the eyes. Like, colour aside, it's a fantastic looking sculpt too. And again, you've got all those articulation joints in these, the ankles, being able to strike this thing in some good poses. So I'll have to keep an eye out, and see if they come. See what it looks like in hand. A lot of times we've talked before, you sort of and ah, looking at production photos, but as soon as you get it in hand, you just have to have it.
Yeah, this one I'm kind of on the fence right now on it, just because I need to be kind of wary of space, but at the same time I do like it.
Mm-hmm.
John. I can't get Jurassic Park back online without Dennis Nedry.
Well, that was the Hammond Collection stuff. Just quickly, on the subject of the Jurassic Park 30th anniversary this year, we talked last month about the collector cards that are coming with the captive eggs. David, you're saying you're collecting the captive eggs to get the Pyroraptor, or are they the other?
Yeah, I did get the Pyroraptor. I might try to see if I can find just the cards on the secondhand market. I know that would probably be insanely expensive, but at the same time, Jaros has done some really, really good art on these, and I'd like to support that.
Yeah, so we've got 4 photos here of captive eggs. Gallimimus, Baby Raptor in the egg, of course, Brachiosaurus, and a Raptor as well. With the collector cards, there are more captive items in the eggs as well, but they're hitting toy stores and that in the States at least. Not so much here yet, but yeah, as you're saying, that we talked last month about that card art, and I'd love to be able to get some of that in hand. Continuing on with the 30th anniversary, we had a heap of stuff drop at the start of the month. The Track and Explore vehicle set, which is a bit of a throwback to Chaos Effect, Kenner's Chaos Effect line. We've got a remoulding of the Jungle Explorer here without the back on it. We've got the tranquilizer missile, like they used to call it.
It doesn't just sample the DNA, it gets you all of it. But yeah, the colors here are very... I think they're pretty much purely inspired by the canceled Jurassic Park Series 2, the second wave Jungle Explorer that would have been like this kind of funky bluish purple with the black stripes and the yellow underside. Like, I mean, it's definitely straight out of that, and it's really cool that we never got it in '94, so we're definitely getting it now.
Yeah. Yep. None sure what it was partnered with back then, but it comes with. I see this animal and think the animal from Relic, but do you know what its name is? I don't.
I'm not going to try to pronounce it.
It's got the tusks, Tuscosaurus. Yeah, so a good little callback there coming for the 30th anniversary. Also, we're getting another good callback to the Kenner Alan Grant as well, with Dr. Alan Grant here with his again test tube bazooka or captured bazooka, Gallimimus, claw gun, and some other accessories as well. So,
and the Gallimimus is definitely Kenner inspired as well. And I like the box art that they're going with these too.
Well, yeah, we haven't mentioned that with the last, just that silhouette that we know and love of the jungle, but they've thrown the gates, the Jurassic Park gates in silhouette on there as well, with 93 Classic, so...
Yeah. And then it also comes with a kind of like a baby-ish, not quite hatchling, but maybe 8 months, Velociraptor.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely Clarence. If anybody's familiar with Clarence, the Velociraptor was a baby male Velociraptor from the novel, and he was about this size too.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of other people kind of thought the same. It's like, yeah, that's Clarence. You can't change my mind.
Yeah, it's amazing how we're going to get to it in a minute with Malcolm too. Just how many of these designs come off earlier scripts or out of the novels. When, of course, we never see it in the actual film. Yeah, that's fantastic. As I said before, we got the Malcolm glider pack as well, which I've got the Lost World Malcolm glider mint and sealed box here in my display, and just love the concept of it. And here, weird that it's coming out for the Jurassic 30, but I love it either way. I've got a Dilophosaur and a baby trike with it as well.
Yeah, the baby trike definitely has this reminiscence of the one that came with the original Eddie Carr figure. It's kind of got that same kind of color green with the white accents.
Is this a new are these new Malcolm and Grant, or are these the Hammond Collection ones?
No, these are new figures, and they're definitely vintage inspired. Like Ian Malcolm's wearing the gloves.
I was just looking at the head sculpt. The head sculpt looks pretty spot on.
It might be the same head sculpt, but that's definitely new arms on the figure.
Gliding arms, gliding gloves. And then lastly, something I was not expecting at all, and that's the Ultimate Jurassic Park 30th Anniversary Electric Real Feel T-Rex. The homage to the original Red Rex that Kenner come out with. How much of it's going to be real feel will remain to be seen, but just like that one back then, you can eat animals and they come out its this one comes out its stomach, where the old one comes out its bum, but yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's also electric too, where you squeeze the hip area and it roars just like the original Gulper T-Rex. And even I remember hearing rumor about this and thinking, it'll just be another repaint. But this is like, they went all out on this one. This is new sculpt. A lot of it's going to be real feel. I imagine the main body and tail is what's going to be real feel, and then the limbs and head is plastic.
Well, yeah, I was thinking too, maybe this is just going to be a repainted fresh and fro or something, but this is... we talked before about the Hammond Collection going with articulation. This has pretty much got rid of all that and just a full solid body. You got the articulated hips, of course, for the legs and the arms and the lower jaw, and that's it. Possibly the top of the head as well. I don't know. There's that line there.
I also noticed another thing, that the head seems to be elongated like the original Red Rex. Like the back of the head has this elongation to it, which I kind of thought was a neat little homage, you know. And of course, they do have the DNA thing, but it kind of folds out in this kind of dino damage look. It was just a cool trick.
Yeah, the cover on its fly, it looks like it's got a little bit of rubber that holds it in place, so not going missing and not having that thing sticking out all the time if you don't want to see it. So, this looks fantastic.
It does.
I cannot wait to get this in hand.
This one and the truck, I pre-ordered both.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
There was actually somebody had a fake come out that was just a repainted Super Colossal figure, and I remember seeing it and seeing that it's not Super Colossal. How happy I was, because I really wanted this figure, and I would not have had room for it if it was Super Colossal size.
Yeah, well, looking at the size of the kid's hand coming in to push the electronics button on it, it does look like it's a lot smaller. That on scale to the other Tyrannosaurs we've got, which is good, good for display purposes. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh man, Ian's not gonna like this.
Moving into a bit more collector stuff here. Jada Toys, of course, done the Jeep. They didn't do the G-Wagon for Jurassic World, did they? I'm pretty sure that was customs people done. But they've got a Jungle Explorer finally.
No, they did.
Oh,
yeah,
did they?
Got one.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yep. Well, they've done that because they do the large, I was going to say here, yeah, the 132 scale stuff, which these Explorers are. Then they've got the smaller, sort of in between this and Matchbox scale as well. I've got a couple of their DeLoreans and that they've done. But
for Jurassic World, they did the normal Jeep, the G-Wagon, and then they did the larger scale with the Jeep 29 from the Jurassic World movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think this one is the scale of the Jeep and G-Wagon.
Mm-hmm. But great looking Explorers here finally. Some die-cast, more accurate Explorers than what we got with the T-Rex Breakout Legacy line. But
yeah, this one I'm kind of on the fence about, just because like I said, space is becoming an issue, and I just really don't have space for it, especially because I already have an Explorer, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If it was Explorer 5, I might have gone for it, but everybody's going for 4. I don't know why.
Well, yeah, I'd love either don't have a number on there and just have the number as a sticker, so you can put one or the other on, or just, I don't know how hard it'd be to have a half batch of 04 and a half batch of 05, then you might have the issue of only being 04s on the shelf anyway, but no one's been able to solve that issue yet. And as I said, everyone's gone 04. It is a shame, but I'm excited to get it. As I said earlier, Mattel's been releasing a lot of repaints, a lot of figures. We haven't really touched on any of them. I threw the Habitat Defender Triceratops in here to briefly talk about. Just we've talked about the Hammond Collection one before, and that sort of that head joint, that jaw joint that goes through it. This is sort of suffering the same thing, but a nice bit of paint on there for a low budget Triceratops. I think this looks all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not bad. If I recall, this is actually the big Triceratops that had been mentioned before. Yeah, this is.
Yeah, I knew they were doing a bigger one. So yeah, at least we can have some different size amongst our Triceratops and herbivores in the collection. So, but I think that's it. Check out that. Yep. So yeah, the Triceratops ends our toy talk for tonight, and ends our news episode. Dave, a fair bit there. Some stuff we're getting, some stuff we're not. That was just February, so I'd hate to see what we're going to get in March as we get closer. We're still a couple of months off the 30th anniversary, the actual date yet. So fingers crossed, there's some more coming. We can discuss it all at the end of the month. But like that's it. We'll get out of here for the week, and we're back next week with another Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Minute.
Yeah, that sounds good.